1 month. Or 6 months. That's what happens after a low ASVAB score, depending on which attempt this was. Nobody fails the ASVAB, but there's one rule in the retest policy that only fires if you improve too much.
Hey everyone, Leo here. You didn't miss the test's bar because the test doesn't have one. You missed one branch's bar on one morning, and those are wildly different problems. I know it doesn't feel that way in a parking lot holding a printout you hate.
Okay, last episode we showed how 10 points can double the job list in front of you. This is the other side of that coin. The number comes back under the line, the room goes quiet, and somebody starts talking about a contract that's open today. Nova, start with what that number even is.
I'm Nova. Look at where that number actually sits. An AFQT of 40 is a percentile, not a grade, and not a score out of 100.
Then say what the percentile is measuring, because everybody reads it as the percentage of questions they got right.
4 subtests build it: arithmetic reasoning and math knowledge, paragraph comprehension, and word knowledge. Those 4 standard scores turned into 1 rank.
The group you're ranked against is fixed. 18 to 23-year-olds who sat the test as part of a national norming study in 1997. So 40 means 40% of that group scored at or below you. It doesn't mean you answered 40% of the questions correctly. That's the safest way to read your report. I mean safest as long as you remember the group never changes.
I failed the ASVAB. People say that sentence out loud and it's wrong. Nothing on that report says pass or fail. It reports where you rank, so the bar you came in under belongs to a branch, not to the test.
Yeah, and that misreading is the one that pushes people into a bad decision inside a week, Leo? Nothing anywhere on that page uses the word fail.
Take the word fail out of your mouth. It's doing damage.
Your recruiter is reading the same page you are. Same percentile at the top, same composite codes underneath. There's no second better number being kept from you. What they hand you next is a date.
Run the timing before anything else then, because that clock started the moment you press sub.
Nova's about to find a pattern in a calendar. She always does.
Fair. The clock still started the day you tested, Leo. Almost nobody counts it out, so it costs them months.
Then count it out for me. Count it out properly. Somebody tests today and comes back under the bar they needed. What does their calendar look like?
Test day is step 1, and the clock starts there. Then a 1-month wait before the first retest. Then another 1-month wait before the second one. But after that, a 6-month wait between every retest from then on. That's the published policy, and it's 4 lines long.
6 months, not a gap, a whole
season. And that 6-month rule keeps applying every single time after that. One more piece of the calendar cuts the other way, though. Your scores may be used for enlistment for up to 2 years from the date of testing. So the number you're upset about tonight sits on file for a long while.
I can see where this is going. That 6-month rule doesn't care why you sat down. Burn your second retest on a shrug and the next door opens half a year later.
2 years. Plan around it, not against it.
Which is exactly why the first week after a low score matters more than the score does. The thing most people get wrong in that week is the
So what actually changes if I sit down and take it again?
calendar. And that's the question worth the whole month, Nova. Before we answer it, know that there is somewhere to put that month. Certs.professorerica.com carries our ASVAB question bank broken out by section and free to use, so a waiting month can be a working one. One thing before the next part, and then we move right on. If any of this is clicking, tap that like, hit subscribe, and ring the bell for the next one. It takes a second, it costs nothing, and it helps more than you would think. Professor Okafor is here to help us with the next part, because sitting the same test twice with nothing changed is just a slower way to get the same number.
Say what changed though. Same building, same computer, same person. What's genuinely different besides the date?
30 days and whatever you did with them. That's the whole difference, and the 30 days are the part people waste.
1 calendar month, not 30 days. That wording matters. A month starting in February and a month starting in July aren't the same weight, and people book ship dates against it.
Calendar month. taken, and that's the wording on the official applicant FAQ, so it's the version worth quoting to a recruiter. That settles it.
Run the harder question. What did you change during that month?
Here's a worked one, and the person is invented while the rule underneath him is not. Call him Devin. 19, tested in March, came back low.
Low by how much? That changes everything.
Low enough that the list they read him had 4 jobs on it. March is the test. April is the retest, 1 calendar month later. May would be his second window, and in April he comes back with a jump, a long one.
20 points, a gain of 20 or more points on the AFQT inside a 6-month period, and the policy calls that a critical AFQT gain. That's the rule I said only fires when you improve too much. So Devin doesn't just get the better number. He gets a confirmation test.
What's it called? The confirmation test. That one.
20 points is the trigger, 1 confirmation test is what it buys, and 0 extra weight because the confirmation test is taken immediately. He isn't required to wait a month before sitting it.
Pause right here and pull up your score report if you've already tested. I'll wait. You want the date on it.
20's the small number here though. Wait until you see the one that costs a year. It's sitting in front of you today and most people answer it inside the first week.
Should you retake it or sign for what's open right now? Nobody walks you through that fork.
Sign, Erica. If a contract is open and it ships him in 8 weeks, he takes it. Momentum's a real asset and waiting quietly destroys it.
But that contract was built out of the number he already has. If the job on it is one he'd have picked off a full list, sign. If it's there only because the list had 4 items, he's buying the wrong thing.
I'll take the hit. I was arguing for the ship date, and the ship date isn't the thing you sign for, the job is.
Both are real and they fit different people. Retaking buys you a wider job list and a shot at whatever your branch attaches to a higher number, which is a job you'd have picked twice. Signing buys you a ship date and a seat that exists today. It also buys momentum, which is worth more than people admit. So retaking costs you the calendar. Signing costs you the list. Those are the 2 prices, and you pay one of them.
Make it real then. Devin is 19. 1 job on that 4-item list he genuinely wants, and it ships in 7 weeks. What does he do Monday?
He signs Monday without agonizing.
Even with a low number on file for 2 years behind him?
Those scores stay usable for enlistment for 2 years, whatever he does, so the number isn't the question. The question is whether that job is one he'd have picked anyway. He would.
And when is switching branches the honest answer, rather than the escape hatch?
2 ways to answer that. Are you switching because another branch's bar is easier, or because the job you actually want lives over there?
The first one. Be honest.
Then that's the wrong reason, but don't take it from us either, or from a screenshot on a forum. Open that branch's own recruiting page and read its current standard, because those move and the branch publishes them, not the ASVAB program. That's the honest answer. I mean, honest and a little annoying because it's work.
Take a grocery budget. Your attempts are the budget. The way my Sunday bass hour is 1 hour and no more. Test day is the shop. Testing just to see where you land is shopping hungry with no list.
Or a tank of gas on a long drive with no stations. Same shape?
Same shape. The pattern underneath is that both are finite and neither refills on your schedule.
Okay, but a grocery budget resets every month. One catch, Nova. Unlike groceries, your third trip doesn't cost more money. It costs 6 months.
Right. 2 attempts, a month apart each. Every one after that, 6 months apart. Spend them on purpose.
So the first week is 4 moves. Get the exact test date off your report. Pick the one subtest costing you most. Book the retest for the month, not for when you feel ready, and change something real before you sit it again.
Testing just to see where you land is the one thing not to do that first week. You spent a window, and the third one is 6 months wide. If you know somebody booking a test just to see, send them this before they book it.
Yeah, sit with that one.
This is my gym membership all over again. Sign up in January, show up in March, act astonished in June.
2 exits past the topic, Nova, and I enjoyed it. Back to the calendar. 1 month, then 6 months between every retest after that.
The policy page is short. We're not reading it at you line by line, we'll pin the link. Treat that calendar the way my family treats churrasco, where the date's set months ahead and nobody moves it.
Okay, so if you test in March, hang on, I'm counting out loud. April is retest 1, May is retest 2, then nothing until November. So pick one subtest and 1 month, not all 10.
4 subtests build the AFQT, arithmetic reasoning and math knowledge, paragraph comprehension and word knowledge. The other 6 subtests on that test never touch it. So if eligibility is the problem, those 4 are the whole job.
So here's what I'd actually do. You didn't fail, and there's no passing score to have failed. The calendar is 1 month, then 6 months between every retest after that. Don't spend an attempt just to see where you land. And sign because the job on it is one you want, never because the number hurts. Professor Okafor, thank you. The calendar month correction alone saves somebody a rebooked flight.
Seconded. The confirmation test rule was new to me, and it shouldn't have been.
Read the page before your recruiter does. It's shorter than this conversation.
And if this took the panic out of a bad score, a like helps somebody else find it at the worst possible moment. Subscribe for the rest. 1 week decides most of this. If your score came back low tomorrow, what would you do with the first week? Nobody fails this test. Go spend your month like it counts, and I'll see you at the next one.